Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'll be talking to 19-year-old Grammy Award-nominated, multi-platinum certified singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, GAYLE. Let's go.
That's my kind. I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
GAYLE.
Hello.
Thanks
Hi.
for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to talk to you.
I'm very excited to talk to you.
Where should we start?
Oh gosh. Where are you from?
Maryland.
Maryland. How is it like growing up in Maryland?
I was from a very small place, so it was very far away from everything. So I think that was really nice because I was really disconnected from generally from pop culture, even though in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like today. But I think it definitely put us in our own little world where we were always imagining things. And I think that's how we became artists. But Maryland, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
But I moved to Nashville when I was 12. So I a lot of my childhood I associate with kind of being in Texas, and then becoming a person I kind of associate with Nashville.
Why'd you move to Nashville?
I just wanted to do music, and I was so persistent about it. I was just one of those kids who started singing when they were 7, and I heard Aretha Franklin sing, and I was just I want to be Aretha Franklin when I grow up. And it was tis not I. I am not Aretha Franklin whatsoever.
Well, there can only be one.
There truly can only be
and
one.
There can only be one you.
That is also fair. She she's my icon, and that's why I started singing. And then my mom played sports when she was younger, and she went to college for soccer.
Okay.
And she was a female athlete in the 80s trying to do it semi-professionally, and that wasn't necessarily a conventional career choice.
Yeah.
And her parents really supported her in that. And so she kind of took the mentality that her parents took with her in soccer and went with that in music. And so she kind of made her own club sports was kind of the way she was thinking about it when she was taking me to vocal lessons, or I would play the most random gigs. I would play rodeos and sheep sellers convention.
Yeah.
I once auditioned. There's this thing called Rural American Idol. I drove 5 hours somewhere random. Rural. Yeah, I can't say
the rural jurors.
Rural American Idol.
Can you say rural jurors?
Rural juror. Oh no, I can't. Why am I having such a struggle?
Rural
with that
jurors is a joke in 30 Rock, I believe.
Really?
Or maybe I think it was a Tina Fey show, but it's funny. Rural. The word rural is hard to
it's
say.
A hard one.
So your mom had a real idea of, I think what that is a process for building success and progress. Mm-hmm. So that sounds pretty cool, because I think a lot of parents look at the arts and they don't really understand that there is actually a place to build a career in the arts. Mm-hmm. And that, even if you start painting, but it leads you down a road where you have all these options as an artist, whether you become a painter or you become something in and around design. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of parents don't understand art as a job.
Yeah.
And it feels like your mom, coming from sports, was less focused on the result of what you become, but more let's build a process and a strategy around going after it. Mm-hmm. So at 12, would you say you were going for it?
Yeah.
So it was the mission you were on at that age. Cool.
At 7, I think I had career day or something at school recently. So I was kind of thinking what do I want to do for the rest of my life? I was I take everything very literally and very seriously.
Amazing.
And
so do I.
I saw Aretha Franklin sing, and I was I want to be Aretha Franklin when I grow up. And everything I've ever done has just been to do that since. And I would say I've been doing music professionally for the past 2 years. But
right. Would that be when you got your record deal?
I would say it's kind of when I started touring.
Right.
And started really meeting people in the business, was able to get a deal, kind of got signed to an agency, working with signed writers for the first time. I that was the first time I think I was being set up with published sessions and
Yeah.
like shaking hands and like really meeting people. I came up in the like writers round circuit in Nashville.
Yeah.
Like, and I still can't, but I used to do like some of the like Broadway gigs. I wasn't even old enough to get in. I would have like a big X basically on my forehead to be able to play half of those venues. And and so a lot of my life and time in Nashville was like going to writers rounds, meeting random strangers, and then writing songs with them. And then I would just perform the songs that I wrote with the people I met at writers rounds at more writers rounds, and then meet more people and just and I kept writing with them, kept performing it. But I would say when I like was like in the business of the music industry was kind of when I put out ABC, because that was my first song through a label. And that was just like kind of me shooting in the dark. Like I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna put this out and see what happens.
I think that's what we all do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of us come into it with a real understanding of how the plan. We think we know at a young age how it's going to work, but then you get into it and I mean, in 2 years at your age, you're 19?
Yes.
So, goddamn, that is so young to have accomplished what you've accomplished.
Coming from you, that's like
you
so
probably don't realize how accomplished you are. Most of us don't, I think. We don't walk around with like our resume all the time and look at it. You're Grammy nominated, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So confirm that. That's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
Okay. You have a multi-platinum single. I think it's like 4 times platinum the last time I checked.
Yes.
So there you go. You've toured multiple tours. I don't think I was on my first real tour until I was your age. And even that was young by standard of like what I've experienced over the last 25 years and seeing all the different ways artists make it. Some people don't get their first tour until they're in their mid-20s, late 20s. I mean, really, it takes all types, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not just that you toured with Taylor Swift, Taylor, Tay-Tay.
T-Swizzle.
Yeah, we're Swifties in our house.
Yes.
But the tours before that, so all the touring you've accomplished at the level you have, you've written songs for other people, so you're a songwriter and an artist. You likely produce. Do you produce things?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so I suspected you were a producer too, because it doesn't seem like you'd be satisfied with just knowing how to do one thing. All of that says to me, here's a person who is extremely driven to figure this thing out and refuses to quit, because I know how much rejection's probably weaved in there in that experience, especially if you started at a young age. It hurts more when the younger you are, the more it hurts.
Yeah.
Still hurts when you're older, but you get a little bit more.
You just understand it more.
You understand it more. It says to me that you have almost the kind of drive it would take like an athlete to make it at their sport, which kind of goes back to your mom. Are you guys close? Yes.
She's a single mom. And so like, she's my rock. She's my world. She's everything. And one thing I really appreciate about her that I feel like I don't give her enough credit for is she knew that music was more than just singing on stage. And I feel like for her to see that and to seek that and to try her best to understand that for her kid and to try and teach me everything that she could possibly learn about the music industry, I really appreciate that insight that she had, because I even like with Taylor Swift, like she saw Taylor Swift on stage and she was like, this is more than her just singing pretty. It's what she's saying, and it's like what she's singing about, and it's the way she's presenting herself on stage. It's the way she's connecting with the audience. That is the important part of music. And then she kind of was like, I will work as hard as you work, So she kept doing things for me to kind of like casually, consistently prove that I wanted to do music. Like my first guitar was like a toy guitar. It was like $25. And until I learned how to play it, she bought me a real guitar. Wow. And then after I learned how to write songs, I was writing songs for a year, and then she took me to Nashville to write a song, and not a lot of parents would do that. Not a lot of parents would also just have like the freedom or time to do it. She worked from home, and and she really like believed in me which not a lot of kids get to have. Their parents believe in them so deeply.
Take them seriously.
She really did take me seriously. And I also put on a really big responsibility on myself. Like after we moved to Nashville, like I was like, well, time to
gotta make it.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
Moving our life here.
gotta like I live or die. Like I gotta make it. Like I felt this responsibility like for my family. I was like, if we move to Nashville for this shit, like I gotta
do it.
I gotta fucking do it. Like there's no other choice. Like I have to do it.
Don't you feel like though that pressure is what we need? It's like do or die.
I think a little bit. I don't think there's sometimes like I try my best to not always go into this like I need to have this scarce mentality to like keep my work ethic. Like I like to believe I can be like happy
Abundant.
and still like work hard.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like I have this drive to kind of have the freedom to do whatever I want in my life. And that's like the biggest thing I always go to is like in music, I just want to do whatever I want to do in life, in my life and for my family and everything. And so that's also the like main motivator that I always go to is that I'm really like working for freedom in my job and in my life and trying to hopefully give freedom to other people in my family as well. But yeah, I do think it is a big, especially when you're younger and you haven't like had any true success. I do think that's a really big motivator for me and for a lot of people.
I think it's incredibly special what you just told me and what you know, I know it's not the sum of your story and your relationship with your mom, but it's a great description of the top line of it is she had her own experience, right? Was obviously driven. Obviously you have to be to make it at any level of sports past, you know, being a kid, playing in high school and then going beyond that and going for after a career in sports. You have to be really disciplined and really driven, as well as talented. But then to take all the information that you've gained, which is, I think, actually like a little bit how I try to parent my kids, is take all the information you've gained from your own personal successes and failures, and then apply that. And I'm going to be all over the place here because you have my brain going in a bunch. Because like, this is the first time I've ever actually talked to anyone on this show that is coming into music that it feels like they had a support system that was as engaged as they were in the process with them, and then actually applying like strategies for success. And for people listening, I always try to underscore things that I think they can use in their own life.
Yeah.
Right? Whether they're a parent or they're building their own dream of whatever kind that could be. And in order to have success, we do have to have a strategy. We have to. We have to be conscious of our strategy as much as we can be. Some people are just they have such good instincts. They tornado through and they have success. But if you could track it and put it on paper, we could identify the things they did to have success. And then we could replicate those things across a bunch of other people. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So I believe that success is part talent, part work ethic and effort, and then strategy. How are we going to do this? And I think that when you tell me the relationship that you had with your mom, it's such a blessing when you think about this person lived their whole life, had you, and then started applying information. They had done all the research and development that they could in their own category. And then they brought it over here to your category and your dream, and they started trying to implement those things. It's not all perfect, right? I know there's lots of I'm sure there's tons of stories you have of things that didn't work and all that. But in general, it feels like the relationship you guys had was a foundational part of you sitting here as a Grammy nominated, multi-platinum singer, songwriter, touring 19-year-old.
When you say it like that,
You're
that's
ahead.
so crazy.
It's crazy
That's
because
so-
think about this. You've
oh my
accomplished in a few years of your adolescent young life, right? You're certainly an adult now, but if you summed up even the last 5 years, just call it 5, you've accomplished what takes other people 15, sometimes 20, sometimes 10, easily could be 10 to 20 years of work that you've accomplished in 5. If we trust our experience and our instincts and what got us here, we can continue to make decisions in line with our success.
And you have just more awareness to everything. And when I look back at my life and my career, I really think about when luck, and you kind of, when you're talking about like when luck meets opportunity meets preparedness, you know, like you're always going to be, you know, if you're trying to do the thing, like you're going to be prepared. You know, you're always going to practice. You're going to be on top of your shit.
If you're trying.
And then there's times you're going to be lucky, but you have to be good or even great to be able to meet that luck and to meet that opportunity. And you have to be prepared for that as well. And that combination is what I believe brings success.
Absolutely. And we could call luck a lot of things.
So many things. There's so many things it could be.
Right? We could perceive something as luck. I believe that I always say I tell my kids, the harder you work, the luckier you get. But it's when hard work and preparation meet opportunity, that's luck, right?
Yeah.
It feels like we stepped into a pile of shit and we're like, whoa, how did I get this? But no, we had to go down the road. Had we not gone down the road, someone else, there's a bunch of people running the race with us. We're all in a pack of people. You know, music isn't a competition. It's more of like we're all on this marathon together.
Yeah.
It's an endless marathon because at some point, some people are like, I'm out.
Yeah. You can stop whenever you want.
And you can.
Yeah.
And you can take a break and you can come back in 10 years and get back into the marathon.
Yeah.
It's the beautiful thing about art. But if you don't go down the road yourself and meet those opportunities, you'll never be lucky. And entitlement is believing that I can sit here and that I should be handed things versus I'm going to get up every day and go look for my opportunities and then assess the ones I think I can really do well and try. People who are inspired and driven get up every day and go forward. And my advice always when I sit with, like, say, a young person who's just starting out, they're in the first 5 years of their career, and they're like, what should I do? And I'm like, exactly what you're doing. Get up every day and go forward and talk to anyone you can talk to and look for any opportunity and then have integrity. Take that opportunity, do your best, own your shit, be responsible, and those opportunities start to turn into things. That's the other thing is results aren't something we can actually judge at face value because we don't know the implications long-term of something we're doing right now. You could be writing a song right now that lays on the floor for 10 years and you play a demo for someone and they're like, I love that song, I want to cut it. And it could be the biggest song of your career, right? So we don't know the results. We can't judge the results. We have to leave those up to time.
Yeah.
But it is drive.
I feel like that's also like, I heard this phrase and it really spoke to me a little bit because it was like, you don't have to be crazy to like be in music, but you have to be crazy to stay in music. And that was something that I kind of thought was interesting.
Feels crazy.
Because there's something in you to like stay in music takes a very particular type of person because you're not always going to get the validation that you want. You're not always going to be happy with everything you do. You're not always going to be satisfied, and you can stop whenever you want. And within reason, you can kind of do the things that you want. You just have to be able to work for it and like see the future and see your goals, you know? And I think that's also the beautiful thing about music is another phrase I always think of is you only are as good as you are the day you are, you know, like you wake up and that as good as you're going to be. You know, so you have to push yourself every single day to be the best you're going to be because that in that moment, that will just be the best you're going to be.
Yeah.
So you really have to push yourself every single day because you have to hit a new standard every single day. And it's beautiful and the worst thing ever for perfectionists.
And for not only perfectionists, but I know for me, I got into music because I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. And I had a really low self-esteem and I was looking for self-worth. I wanted people to clap. I mean, you know, literally wanted people to like me.
Yeah.
I realized music wasn't the answer. It led me to music and music became a healing process, a healing journey. I had to go work on myself and take responsibility for my, it didn't matter that the injuries that happened to me and the trauma that happened to me, I didn't choose it, but it was mine. And at some point in life, we have to take responsibility for that. And we have to go and work on ourselves and heal.
Do you go to therapy?
I love therapy.
How long have you been going to therapy for?
That's a great question. I've been going to therapy now for I got started late in my opinion, in my early 30s. So I've been going for about 12 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
Religiously.
What made you like sit and kind of realize like, okay, it's time for me to go to therapy?
Honestly, my wife.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Shout out.
She's iconic.
She's iconic.
But she's such a special person, and the world sees this one side of her that's it's beautiful. She's gorgeous, and she's funny, and she's all these things that really are her. But the sweet, thoughtful, smart woman and strong woman that she is, who's been through a lot. People say, how have you been together for 17 years or married for 13 years or whatever?
Wow.
And I'm always like, I don't know. I mean, she's amazing. And I just feel lucky. We like each other, but it's really her ability she's the least judgmental person I've ever met. So if you came to her with the most shocking problem or nothing shocks her. She's just like, I think you should do this, or I think you need to go. And anyways, we were at a point where she was like, I think you really need to go and work on the old stuff you haven't dealt with. She's like, you really need to go. And, I was depressed and didn't know it, anxious and didn't know it. I had zero understanding of my emotional life. And I was dealing with anxiety, depression, all those things, and I didn't really know it. And I was acting it out in my music, which was, I think, the ship that carried me to that point.
Yeah.
So it was like a different kind of therapy. At that point, probably 12 or 13 years of artistic therapy.
Yeah.
But I had never really thought, oh, I need to go and like talk to someone. Our band, Good Charlotte, we had a really unique relationship with those things: mental health, depression, anxiety. A lot of people that listen to our music got a lot out of it. And I didn't realize it was just me and them sharing. I was writing songs, not knowing I was just a stream of consciousness, confessing all the stuff.
Yeah.
And the audience, the fans of Good Charlotte, we had a very tight relationship because it felt like that. It felt like we were sharing our deepest traumas with each other, And, but I didn't realize like I was completely undeveloped emotionally. I had a lot of work to do. And then I went in and I started working on it. And I wouldn't say I got addicted to it, but I became dependent on that process. And now today, I would say I've worked a ton of stuff out. That's likely why I'm still married and I can be super present.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy analyzing and processing and trying to understand, like, why do I feel this way? And
Yeah. Have you stayed with the same therapist, or have you like changed therapists?
I started with one or two different, and I ended up with a guy who I've been with now for 10 years.
Oh my God, amazing.
And he's amazing. He changed my life.
Yeah, I go to therapy. I'm going to therapy for like about a year.
Amazing.
Now my therapist had a baby.
Okay.
And she like decided to like her baby or whatever. So she disappeared for like a few months or whatever.
Okay.
But she came back. Came back to me.
Did you fill in the gap with anyone else?
I didn't actually. I was actually on tour with Pink when I was in Europe. And so I just like wrote in my journal and was just kind of like, you know what? Like, to the gods, please.
Right. You picked up enough tools to like keep it going while you figure out when you can.
Yeah. For me, I've realized in my life, I've really needed help finding peace and like comfort. And I think when I feel things, in my life, I've really noticed that I need to have a reason for everything. And so for my emotions, there needs to be a reason for everything. And I just started feeling resentment in my life, and I didn't particularly know where it came from. So I started going to therapy to kind of like help me understand my emotions better. And also I was just dealing with a lot of internet bullshit. And I was like, I just want to talk to somebody about this and talk about how it's affecting me. And
as a real person, the thing that no one talks about is now we live in a culture of immediate feedback loops that we didn't ask for, but they're there. and you can't get away from it. You can say, oh, I'm just not going to look. No, if people are talking bad about you or making fun of you, let's just call it what it is. It's not even an opinion on your music. They're fucking being mean and they're making fun of you, right? Like you have to take that, whether you like it or not. And that really tests your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-love and all the things that I think everyone needs to be happy. I think we need enough self-esteem and our feeling of self. Like we have to feel like we matter and that we're special. And I believe like every single person on the planet deserves to have their own unique relationship with themselves, to love themselves, to feel special, to feel like one of one. And we don't live in a world that really supports that all the time. In fact, if you step out and say, I'm one of one, I'm special,
You're like loser.
most of you are going to go, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
You're such a loser.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would roll their eyes when they hear me say that, but that's how I feel. And I think if we can't love ourselves, we can't love anyone else. But at the end of the day, when you go online to do anything, to interact with the world in all these different places where you have to, you're going to be met. If you're an artist and you're making art and you're putting things into the world, you're putting yourself out there, you are going to be met. Someone's going to make fun of you.
Yep, it's going to happen.
Someone's going to hate you. And they've now given you that. You didn't ask for it, but they gave it to you. And now you have to decide, what do I do with this? I didn't ask for this thing.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to figure out how we deal with that.
I think something that I also noticed that I don't always feel like artists talk about is that the bigger you get, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Which I think
It's not
some
better.
people think it's
Doesn't
the
get better.
opposite.
No.
Which was something that I really, really had to come to peace with and to terms with, is like the more successful you are and the bigger you get, the ruder people are going to be and the meaner it's going to be and the harsher it's all going to feel. Because like, one, people are just going to be jealous. They're not going to understand it and they're going to want to take it away from you. So when I'm like wanting, like the simplest way I can explain it is like, if I want a video to just like do well, like I post a TikTok and I'm like, I hope this video gets 1 million views. Like if it gets,
me too, by the way.
Like, you know, like if it gets like 20,000 views, people are pretty nice. Like I'll just say maybe there's one comment telling me to brush my teeth or something, you know. If it gets 1 million views, you know, like the meaner and the ruder, I know a video is getting more views when the comments start to get ruder, when it starts to get harsher, when people start being cruel. And that was something I had to come to terms with. When I'm wanting myself to like be more successful, I'm opening myself up also to more negativity and more positivity at the same time. But that was something like when I was so blessed to have the Taylor tour and the Grammy nom, I believe they kind of came out within 2 months of each other. I should have been on top of the world and on top of the moon, but I couldn't even like go on Twitter without like crying, you know, for a little bit, for a very particular, for a specific moment of time that was like hard for my dreams to be coming true. But then like people are tearing me down for it.
Personal growth is all about us discovering what our potential is and owning it and taking it to the limit as far as we can. And that is something that you can grow. You can grow your capabilities. You can grow your capacity. And you're at 19. You have I'm telling you right now, from my experience, you have a high capacity and a lot of capabilities already at a young age. So that part, I'm like, that way outweighs the bullshit that comes with it. Everybody else's opinion.
Yeah. And another thing I go back to is like, obviously with music, like I still get to like live my life. Like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, 12-year-old in their basement calls me a loser. It's like, you're still like in your house. You have somewhere to sleep. You have food to eat. Like you are fine. Cause sometimes I get in this mentality, like, it's like, you still can live your life, you know, like music feels like everything and it is everything to me, but it's like, you know, it is everything, but it doesn't always have to be everything at the same time.
Like there can be more to you, the real person that's living inside of the career.
Music. Because sometimes I felt like if music was gone, then I'm just gone. And it's like, it's a little dramatic. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're artists.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
we're dramatic.
No music, there's no me. And I mean, I feel like without music, like music has saved my life in so many ways.
Me
like
too.
I don't even I can't even like imagine where I would be without music. I can't
Me
even
too.
like,
Oh my
I don't
God.
even know where I would be. Also, are you wearing like the little wristband thing that tells you like you're like everything?
You
like,
know it.
Oh my God.
It's a Whoop.
Are you? My manager has one. A few of my friends have been having them.
Tracks your steps.
Talks about like lung
your
capacity and
lung
your heart
capacity,
rate.
strain, which
Your
is
stress is just going to be all peaking during this whole interview.
stress. Yeah. Well, also
Yeah.
stress is when you're focused, you're higher. There's a higher stress. It's like almost like hunting.
Oh, I'm looking at my manager. She's stressed out all the time. I'm so sorry.
She's focused.
I look at it and I feel so
Super
bad.
focused.
I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, whenever you're focused, your stress is up. And when you're focused on so likely your stress levels are high when you're in a really focused conversation. But also like one thing that I like it measures is strain, which is actually like the same effort it takes when you're doing cardio or working out. You exert that effort in other places in the day. And as long as you hit a certain level of strain during the day, your body got enough physical exercise. So I always kind of struggled with working out. So I had a weird relationship with sports and physicality because I wasn't a very like physically fit, whatever that is, kid. And so I found that my relationship with working out was not necessarily healthy. I either went all out and got super, but it was like also kind of aggressive, like it was like fighting and boxing and stuff, which also makes me feel bad inside for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not a good, me and MMA and boxing and training was my brother did it. And like, he had a great experience with it. It like really fucked with my emotional, like,
You're such an emotionally aware human. It's so cool
Now I
hearing
am.
you talk about yourself in your brain, though. Like it's so. I don't
Well, I
think I've
learned
like
it.
ever met a man as like emotionally aware as you. This is such a
I have.
sick conversation.
Thank you. Well, I learned it because I wasn't. I was the opposite. And I was going through life completely confused.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of a career. So like the experience I had in my career was incredible in a lot of ways, but also terrible in other ways. And I think I met my wife at the right time. And Nicole was like, whoa, you're like a tornado. And she's like, I think you need to like go talk to someone and just see. And that's when I actually started to go in and actually process. All my emotional processing happened in songs, which is amazing for the art. Definitely. But like, I think you have to live in your real life every day. I think that's more important. I wouldn't trade my real life for that life ever.
Yeah.
I think people would say, oh, that's easy to say. You had it. Yes. But I'm also trying to tell you your real life is more important than that as well. And that what you think you want, you actually, I don't know if you want it or not, but we have to find a way to integrate all the parts of our life so they work together so that we can be happy in all of them.
Yep.
And anyways, I found with working out, fighting when I was training, and I certainly like, there are other kinds of martial arts that I do like now, but like fighting really disturbed a part of me that made me feel really like angry and bad. And it didn't affect my brother the same way, and we're twins, so that's weird. So then I stopped working out, and I had this whole roller coaster with like my own physical, physicality.
Yeah.
It measures like your strain every day, and that's kind of what I watch. So if I get home and I'm only at 12 and I need to be at 18, I'll just jump rope for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes,
Oh, cool.
see where it got me. If it gets me all the way there, it just keeps me moving in ways that are like healthy without having to like go every day and like work with like a trainer who's yelling at me, and I don't do good there. I'll go to the gym like twice a month.
Yeah. I just started working out because like I was opening up for Pink in Europe and I was out of breath within like 10,
Cardio.
15 minutes. And I was like, guys, like I'm opening up for Pink. Like I can't
Can't
be
be out of breath.
sitting here like, hey guys,
Hitting those notes.
hey, like, cause she's about to be fucking upside down, doing a plank, doing a backflip. And I'm like, I can't be like, welcome up Pink to the stage. Like, I was like, I can't be doing that.
So I started hiking.
Oh, that's sick.
And that's
really
like
cool.
really, I started hiking and like listening to like podcasts and albums. And anytime I'm listening to someone's album or I want to listen to something, I'll do it on my hike. And it's like just enough physical effort that I'm out of breath half the hike, because it is a good hike.
Yeah.
But like I don't feel like I can't do it, and I don't feel like a failure. Because that's the thing. It was like me, and like if I'm at the gym and someone's yelling at me, one more rep, I'll be like, "Fuck you! I'm done. I'm out of here,"
like,
and I'll leave.
I'm leaving.
Because I just am too sensitive for someone to like tell me. I don't know what it is. Coaches, maybe it was mean coaches or something.
Yeah.
I just have a real chip on my shoulder with coaches.
Were you bullied when you were younger?
Yeah.
Maybe that could be it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Absolutely is.
I was homeschooled, so the bullying stopped for me. Oh, but elementary school was a rough time.
It's tough.
It was a tough time. And then my brother actually is like the complete opposite of me in all the funniest ways ever. Like he has sensory processing disorder.
Okay.
And I say
Will
that.
you explain that to me a little bit?
So basically, like the simplest way to put it is he just processes senses like a little bit different, and it's kind of different for every person that has it, and different senses can kind of like overwhelm somebody. It can cause them to be like mute at times, just because like for him, he basically processes things at times like somebody can like be attacking him. So like if I liked your shirt and I was like, hey, I really like this shirt's really cool, he would take me like grabbing his shirt as me trying to like hit him or something. Or sometimes if there's really loud noises, like it just like overstimulates him and he just needs to leave. And it used to be worse when he was younger, so I obviously did what any little sister would do, and I started playing drums at like 9 and I would be like, hey, like, and he actually couldn't go to concerts for like a really long time, and now he can. You wouldn't even like notice, but he hates like loud noises,
right?
Any music, like anything loud. He would read, like he is just such a smart kid. He has like a semi like photographic memory, and he would read. He was like 9, reading like 1,000-page books a day. And I had dyslexia, and I just could not read. Like I could not read to save my life. And it like, but then I would write everything down. My brother had dysgraphia, so he couldn't really like write anything down. Like anything like I excelled in any way, he was the opposite in. But anything he excelled in, like I was the complete opposite in.
Isn't it interesting though that like when nature gives us a weakness or a deficient part of us that doesn't have like maybe what other people have, it also gives us some strength.
He's such a like analytical person. It's really interesting.
What's
like,
he do?
He is going to be a lawyer. He's going to Alabama. I'm so proud of him. He has a full scholarship to Alabama.
That's awesome.
He's an economics and finance major with a minor in like Excel spreadsheets or whatever the fuck that bullshit is. I don't fucking know. And then he's studying to be a lawyer, and he started going to college at like 17. What
a great resource in your support system.
Like my mom, like she's the fucking best. Like she can't, also like she's so proud of us, like she can't take it. Like like when she saw me open up for Taylor, like I think she had a heart attack. Like
did she which show did she come to?
She went to the first show in the whole, so one with the tour, just the luckiest, happiest thing in the whole entire world. Like I just felt like I was just so lucky with that tour in general, but we had the first show on the whole entire tour. And so it was in Arizona, and it was the State Farm Stadium. And so I had my mom and my brother come out. And so I've been writing songs with my best friend since I was 12 and she was 15. We moved to Nashville.
What's her name? At the
same time. Her name's Sarah Davis. I wrote ABC with her, You're Just Horny. Like a lot of my, like some of my most popular songs, like I've written with her. Like she's just my best friend. And she grew up across the street from the stadium. Wow. And so I used to visit her and her family for Christmas, and we'd ride bikes around the stadium, and we'd be like, one day we're gonna have one of our songs like play at the stadium and people are gonna sing along. Like she would always hype me up because she's a writer, and she wasn't really an artist, so she was like, one day like you're gonna play that stadium. And it was kind of like this joke, like, oh, one day. And then the first show with Taylor was playing that stadium, and so my mom came, and my brother came, and my best friend and her family was there, and we literally like basically like walked back from the stadium after the show was done. And there's this famous video in my family now where like my best friend's videotaping my mom, and she's crying during ABC, which is just such a funny song to cry to. Like you're just like, fuck you. Like she's just like singing along like a proud mom, like she can't take it. My brother watching it dead faced does not give a fuck. Like he's literally like, and then he's just like, cool. And my favorite thing is I didn't tell my brother that I was opening up for her, because like I didn't tell anybody. That was like the biggest secret I've ever kept in my whole entire life. And there wasn't that much of a turnaround. Like it wasn't like that long that I kept it a secret.
How long did you know before the first show?
I can't even like, oh gosh, it was probably about like a month and a half.
Okay.
It was a pretty quick turnaround. It was shocking. Like the whole experience, like Taylor saw me play.
Wow.
And then
where'd she see you play?
So I grew up in Nashville, and she's from the Nashville scene, and they're throwing the NSAI Awards, which stands for Nashville Songwriters Association International. And I was performing, and she was getting honored as writer/artist of the decade. And she saw me play, and she was backstage, and I walked off stage, like I went backstage, and she was there, and she literally was just like, "What are you doing next year?" Like,
dope.
And I was like, oh, like I don't know what I'm doing next year. Like I'm trying to figure it out, because it was like October, kind of around this time last year. And I was like, I don't really like know what I'm like doing, but I'm trying to figure it out right now. And she's like, oh my God, do you tour? And I was like, yes, ma'am. Like, yes, ma'am, I tour. And she was like, well, do you open up for people? And I was like, I open up for people who ask me to open up for them. And she was like, okay, I'll call you. And I was like, oh my God. And so I didn't tell my brother like anything, and he's in a frat, and he goes to Alabama, so like it's the most like Greek life, whatever.
Right.
And literally sorority girls, I think, woke him up that morning because they're like banging on his door, and they're like, "It's your little sister opening up for Taylor Swift." And he was like, "No, what?" And then
You guys are crazy.
He called me, and he literally was like, "Women are insane." And I was like, what? And he was like, nobody's left me the fuck alone today. And I was like, sorry. But he was like, hey, so like, he was trying to get girls like into the show.
Yeah,
so funny. He was
of
like,
course.
hey, so like,
Yeah.
hey, so like, but like,
He's the
like,
plug now.
Yeah, you got anybody like, hey,
Got any
like,
extra spots on the guest list?
like, yeah, like,
You know,
so like first date.
so I need 20 spots on the guest list.
Like all of a sudden I invited a whole sorority. I hope you don't mind. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and stressful in the moment. Managing your guest list can be stressful.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. I also like. I mean, I knew that tour was gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I also like. I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know it was gonna be the Eras tour. So when I like saw the poster, I didn't know the direct support. I didn't know any of the other first of three. So like I saw the poster, and it was like first day you get to open up for Paramore and Taylor Swift, and I was like,
pretty
that's
amazing,
ridiculous.
And Taylor is awesome.
She's like the best fucking person.
She is
ever.
a really good person.
Like,
she's really, God, it makes a lot of sense to me when I see her doing well. I remember meeting her back in the day and being struck by how classy she is.
Like when people kind of talk about like, you've mentioned a couple of times, like just talking to everybody, being as nice to everybody as you can, and like just meeting as many people as you can. That's exactly what she did, and she could really show for it. You know, a lot of people in this industry have like met her and have beautiful things to say about her because she's such a nice person.
Anywhere you go, but she's smart, she's talented, she's driven. And unfortunately, like going back to the music industry, if you're that and a woman, you're going to be met with people pushing back on that because you're supposed to be whatever you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be ambitious, driven. And I say that broadly. I know that there are tons of smart, driven, focused women. It's being changed by you women. Right. So, I mean, we always have to challenge everything, right? But she is one of a kind.
Especially like,
and so is Haley from Paramore.
oh my,
similar personality.
First of all,
very smart, very, very kind, really, really focused, good. I mean, insanely talented, but the same kind of person where you go like, she's a winner.
I've never been more scared, I don't think ever before in my life, when it's like you have to sing before Haley Williams.
Yes,
I
tall
was like,
order.
Yo.
What a cool experience.
It was I'm never gonna let that down. I mean, like,
and at your age, I think it's just it goes to say though that like you're certainly at least in a place where you were trying to get to on your way to another place you're trying to get to, right? But it is kind of confirmation that you're on the right path, not the wrong one. It's
interesting for me because like, yeah, it definitely, like yesterday I played a headlining show, and it really was like, it was the most people I've ever gotten to like show up at one of my shows before. And it really had me think like, wow, like I was kind of like, this is kind of working a little bit.
Well,
like,
this is what I do.
Weird. Like, this is like, wow, like I'm like doing music. Like, I'm not going to college. Like, I'm just like doing music. Like, wow, this is the thing I've been wanting to do my whole entire life. But I also still don't think I'm good, which I think is interesting. You know, like I can feel like I'm on the right path to some extent, and like feel like I'm like doing music, but then I can still think I suck. Like I can like
I feel the same way.
I truly believe Taylor wouldn't just let somebody that she thinks sucks on her tour.
No way.
I don't think she would do that.
No.
But I can still be on that tour and think I suck at the same time, you know?
There's a healthy part of us that thinks we suck.
Yes.
If we manage it, you know, I think, because I still feel that way. And I think every artist feels that way because we want to keep creating relevant art. You know, it's definitely confirmation. I think someone like Haley, Taylor, they take themselves seriously as they should, and they care about their music, their brand, their show, and they wouldn't thoughtlessly put anyone on that stage. I think they think every detail through, because I think great artists think all the details through, and it's not done until they feel like it's done. And I don't think they're just throwing people out there.
And with Taylor too, like something I also think about is to be where she is in her career. And I was 18 at the time. And so to see this like 18-year-old sing for 3 minutes and within those 3 minutes decide to put her on your stadium tour, that is so kind, because I was not like slated to play stadiums. Like last year, or like literally when I just turned 17, I just put on ABC. I was on tour with this band, Winnetka Bowling League. Like Matthew Coma was like the lead singer. And
Matt
like,
plays with
Good
Charlotte.
Dude, I was on tour with Matthew Coma.
He's one of my best friends.
First of all, that tour, I thought I was so fucking cool being on that tour.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
didn't know you toured with them.
He was my first tour ever. When I was 17, he offered me his tour, and my manager and I were in a van together, and my manager drove me everywhere. And I was 17, and my mom signed over like temporary custody to my manager. So, like we had this big joke that she could legally tell me to go to bed. I opened it up for Winnetka, and I had a little keyboard, and I had tracks, and it was me and my guitar, and we had this sandwich board with my name on it.
Yeah.
And on that tour is when ABC like started. Like I started that tour, and I would say ABC, I believe, had around 5 million streams, and I ended that tour. The tour is about a month long, and it had 105 million streams.
That's crazy.
And I had I remember like when it hit 69 million streams, I like walked around and I was like, my song hit 69 million streams. Like I thought, but somebody was like, wait, how long has it been out? And I was like, oh, it's been out for like 5 months. They're like, yeah. But like, what streams did it have like 3 weeks ago? And I was like, oh, it's like, I don't know. It was probably at like 10 million or something. And they're like, you're about to have the craziest fucking year of your life. And I was like, I don't know. Like, they're like, no, like, I've gone on tour with bands where their biggest song has like 70 million streams and they can fill out like big theaters.
Yeah,
like
it's a big deal.
You are about to have the craziest year of your life. And I just like did not understand. And like, I was terrified opening up for Matthew, and that was like clubs.
That's crazy.
And
I didn't know you toured with them.
Less than a year, I booked the Taylor tour.
That's crazy.
So I was like, and then about 2 months later, I kind of ripped Winnetka's tour. I literally like did the tour that they did. I was able to headline.
Oh, great.
3 or 4 months later, and I kind of played
the same venues.
The
point. That's the point of touring, is you go out with a band and you share fans, and then you go and do hopefully the same venues you did opening.
I was so jealous of Matthew. He was a hit songwriter, and I was like, I wanted to be a hit songwriter more than anything in my whole entire life. He's such a good songwriter, and all I wanted was to be like, I was too nervous to like ask him to write with me. I could barely talk to him.
Oh my God,
I could barely.
Obviously, you know, he's like, you could write with him now.
We're gonna write for my album.
Okay,
like,
because I think personally, of all the years I've worked with songwriters, producers, and I met Matt when he was 16 in his band. When he was 16, he was in a band. They got signed, and we were working with him writing songs. We became friends, and to this day, and we just wrote a few months ago together. He's going to work on some new Good Charlotte music with us.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of the most complete and talented producers, songwriters I've ever met, because he can write a song, he can record the song, he can play anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a freak.
He's so good.
He's written big hits.
Like,
but he's also humble. You don't know he's written big hits most of the time.
He's so smart.
Super smart.
And you can tell in his lyricism. Like,
he's too smart.
Pulp, like, oh my God. I saw him open up for Sasha Sloan. And then when I opened up for him, I was like, that's
so cool.
My first tour ever. And like, yeah, once I started touring with him, I just never stopped touring. I never stopped.
But that led you, so it's doing those shows and then playing that, and you run into Taylor, and you've run into 20 other people that you don't even know it mattered, but you will find out later. Like, that's how it works. It's you're going out there, you're doing the thing, and then these opportunities come, and because you're willing to go forward and meet them, you continue to perpetuate this positive abundance in your life of opportunity versus like, the opposite of that, which is people who don't trust opportunity.
And in my life and my career, I will never forget Matthew, like, letting me open up for him.
That's
because
awesome.
Like, he kind of had no reason. I didn't help him sell one ticket. Like, I had no ticket history. I had never toured before.
Yeah, but I'll say this though, because I know Matt really well. He doesn't give a fuck. He's an instinct guy. So he just sees something that he likes and he goes, I like that. I fuck with that.
And it really meant a lot, especially 17. Like,
he's got good instincts.
Post-COVID too. So I was just like, am I ever going to tour? Like, I don't know. Like, and ABC took about probably, I would say, a solid 4 or 5 months before it did anything. So there's also, and I wrote ABC and put it out a year later after I wrote it. So there's a year and a half where this song existed in my life and like was just on my phone.
That's just confirmation though to me, because I've always thought Matt was a great, I mean, he's written big hits and he calls things all the time. He's like, hey, check that out. They're going to be big. And you'll be like, oh, okay. And then sure enough, that band's big or that song's big. So he's got great instincts, and it's not for any other reason than he's a music fan.
He's just a music god.
And he'll see something and he'll be like, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You should play with us. He's not thinking ticket sales. He's not thinking, that's just not how his brain organizes. I think he's literally just a true artist, musician, producer. He's doing things that he likes. And that's also why he's not in that, like, I'm going to write another hit song race, even though he's got all the if he wanted to be in that carousel of with all those kind of career hit songwriter type people, it is kind of a character in our business. Yeah. He could be running that race. It's just not him. He's an artist. He's making stuff.
He's like an art maker. Like, oh my gosh. Yes. I have such a high respect for him.
That's dope.
He was backstage at one of the last Taylor show. I saw him, and I hadn't seen him since I last opened up for him. And I saw him backstage at one of the Taylor shows, and I almost started crying because I was like, Matthew, like, I haven't seen you since I opened up for you like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he's
like almost about to be 2 years ago now, and like I'm a completely different person than I was on that tour. Like, I just have had so much life experience. I hadn't even like left the US when I went on that tour. I hadn't been to anywhere. It was my first time going to like Idaho. My first time ever was on with Winnetka. Like, the first time I ever went to Colorado was because of Winnetka. Salt Lake City, Utah was because I have this tattoo because it was the Pulp tour. And it was like one of my first tattoos was because of Matthew Coma letting me on his Pulp tour. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was a really monumental thing for like me in touring and like in my career was like going on tour with him.
That's a great tour. So what's the tour now?
So I'm on the Scared But Trying tour, which is my own tour. Basically like, yeah. So I was kind of going to put out an album this year. It was kind of like my goal, and then Taylor and Pink came into my life, and I'd never played stadiums before, and I've never made an album, and I'm a perfectionist, and I try and do everything the best that I possibly can, because I know I can't do things perfectly. So like my coping mechanism for it is just like doing everything that I possibly can and knowing that. And I felt like I couldn't like be the best that I could be at making an album for the first time and playing stadiums for the first time. So I personally like made the decision to kind of just like put out singles that I don't think are going to go on the album. I'm writing for the album like next year, late this year, just kind of seeing what's going to happen with that. But I just felt like I couldn't be great at both. And so I put out singles and went to rehearsals and toured for the beginning half of this year. And when it came to putting a headlining show post-pandemic and everything, touring is really hard, especially as a new artist, building your hard ticket, especially going on two of some of the biggest tours in the world. Like it's super intimidating putting up your club tour, being like, what if nobody comes? Like, what if I'm on literally one of the biggest tours in the world and then like I can't even sell tickets to like my own show? Like I'm setting myself up for embarrassment. And I think due to virality of things, like there's some people who just like knock everything out of the park, and it's like I'm in a build in a career, and I try my best to tour like a rock act. And when it comes to that, you truly have to build that hard ticket sale for years and years and years and years. And so I was really intimidating, opening myself up to the possibility of like nobody showing up. And I found that people were consistently telling me about how confident I was. And it was frustrating me because people are like, you're so confident. You're so confident. And I'm like, I'm fucking not. Like, I'm not.
Liar.
Or people are like, I wish I was as confident as you. And it's like, I care about my craft and I try as hard as I can. And like me, like trying to be a performer might like come off as like confidence, but I'm just trying to like
me too.
give you a good show. You know, like
way.
Me being like,
I am so
like,
not
isn't confident. It's like me just trying to like,
I am questioning
give you
everything
energy.
until the minute I step on that stage.
Like,
I'm like, did I wear the right thing? Did I? And then I get on the stage and it's like you jump into the deep end and then you just swim.
Yep.
So then you don't have time to think about, but I'm the same way. I'm questioning everything about myself till the second I step on that stage, and then I'm fighting the dragon.
And so then I wanted to be more open about the way that I was feeling kind of over these past 2 years. Like the biggest thing that like sometimes I feel like people don't talk about is that there's no like rule book. Like you get signed to a label and like shout out to Atlantic, love you, XOXO, hugs and kisses. But like they don't have like a book in the back to be like, manual. Okay, so this is your career path. This is what we're gonna do for you. We're gonna press the button right here. And then it's going to go here. And then this is how you're going to have a number one. Like nobody knows what they're doing. So once you figure that out, it's fucking terrifying. And I've been like really scared over the past 2 years because I just have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of making everything up. And so I called it the Scared But Trying Tour because I've learned over the past 2 years that no matter how scared I can be, in spite of those feelings, I can still try. And, you know, I have kids that are my age that follow me, people that are older, people that are younger than me. And that was like a theme that I was trying to bring into other people's lives and really try and bring into my life is like, you can be scared and you can acknowledge that. But if you can like go out there and try, like that's the shit that's powerful. And like, I really also realized that like proving to yourself that you can do something is such a big deal, because once you prove to yourself that you can do it, that sticks with you in life and like seeps into different parts of your life in ways that you don't even know it. And so that's what I was just trying to do with my headlining tour. And a lot of the shows like sold out, and like it's been so surprised. Fun. And I was, you know, that was something that
they'll likely all be sold out. If they're not sold out before the day of the show, the walk up will probably be great. I wonder, do you think that everybody's scared, and that if we weren't doing this, we'd be scared of the other thing we were doing?
I think everybody is a little scared. I do think there's some people who like mask it so hard that they don't even realize that the thing they're feeling is like fear. Yeah. You know, because I think something that people don't always talk about is like when your dreams come true, it's terrifying. It is. Because like, I think for me, I thought that like if my music was successful, I would be happy all the time. Like, I think I thought it was going to like fill me, and it does. Like, it brings me so much joy. But I thought I was going to be just like happy all the time, like all the time, 24/7. So then when your dreams come true and then it's not everything you thought it was,
Yeah.
what do you do with that? You know? And
Yeah.
like, I never want to come to this place where I like seem ungrateful or like I'm not happy for the things that
I
I
don't think
have.
those are related at all.
But it's like, yeah, that was something that like I was kind of like dealing with when it was like, whoa, like
Didn't
I have
solve all
success and I'm still like, I really like, especially with music, where music in the industry is now, like I don't have a guaranteed career for myself in 5 years, you know, like that's the thing I'm working towards in my life is like stability. Like that is my biggest thing. And like, I'm not concerned about something happening overnight. I'm trying to stay here and like stick, like put my feet in the ground and like be here and like be here for a long time. And that's also something I really love saying about like even like Paramore and Taylor Swift being on tour with each other. They both have been in the music industry for such a long time, but they have stood their ground and have been able to like consistently build off of their music for years. And they're both successful in their crafts in really stunning ways. And it's really, really cool seeing their growth, because there are times where it's hard for an artist to maintain a build for 15 years.
Yeah.
Most of the time people either drop off, give up, get canceled, or do something terrible or something, you know? So to really like stay in the industry and like hold your ground, like that is the shit that I'm trying to do in my life.
Yeah, I think it's one song at a time, one tour at a time, and just keep that same effort and care and integrity with each song, with each tour. And I think that's all careers are built on, like one moment at a time, one song at a time. And I think you're way ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Also, I didn't answer your question. I do think everybody's scared. Also,
Yeah.
I realized that I like totally segued.
Well,
that
that's
into
the thing,
a
is
million
I think
things.
we'd be scared no matter what.
Yeah.
The stakes get higher when we're in this, like what we perceive as this dream career, even though it's not.
I think that adds a fear to it because it all seems impossible. So then you're just scared it's not going to happen.
And
all
you have
the
more to
time.
lose. You're perceiving you have more to lose.
Yeah.
If you were at college, you'd be scared in a different way.
Yeah.
If you were in a new job,
once
with
shit
a-
gets real, that's terrifying. Once
Yeah.
you are in the public eye in any way and people are looking at you, you're like, oh shit. Like, oh shit, I'm scared. Like,
and the
shit.
idea that like life is scary. There's aspects of it that can feel overwhelming or scary. I do think that we attach our fear to things. So I think like if it wasn't our career, it'd be something else. And our relationship with that fear is what we have to work on. I think you're going to have success in your career as long as you show up, you work hard, you try your best, you stay off drugs, those kinds of things. I know people don't want to hear that from the 44-year-old father of two, but like it is a major kind of cautionary tale. If you start doing drugs, it's not great for your career. But go ahead and try, kid. Like that's how I feel when I tell a new artist and I see him kind of fucking around and I'm like, look, I'm not your parent. I'll tell you the drugs aren't helping you, but maybe you'll be the first guy who can do drugs and the rest of his life and live a long, healthy life and not have problems. I don't think so. If you treat people with respect and you work hard and you're honest, I think you can build a really great career and be happy, which to me is my version of success. My idea of success is to work and be happy.
Yeah.
And so if I can have success at work and have success with my family and find the balance, I can be happy. And my version of happiness is that. Some people's version of happiness is be the biggest artist in the world. Great. Like everybody has their own version, right?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of almost like figure out as you go here, you have to keep imagining what I think a happy, successful life looks and feels like. And then I think you'll naturally kind of like align with it and keep walking towards that if that's what you're dreaming up, because you got here by dreaming this up. May not be the exact version, but it might be better than the version you thought. And
I mean, I did not, somebody, sorry to interrupt, but somebody once was like, did you ever think have you wanted to open up for Taylor Swift your whole entire life? I was like, if I knew I could have done that,
I would have dreamed of it.
I would have wanted a dream to have done that, but I didn't fucking know I was ever going to do that.
I didn't think it was. I didn't know that was on the list.
I didn't know that was a fucking possibility. Like, hello.
But think about that. Like you're discovering rooms in the house you didn't know were there. You're discovering items on the menu you didn't know were there. So like, that's how I look at life, is like, I know if I go forward and I try my best, I'm going to discover something I had no idea was there. I didn't even know it was in my realm of possibility. This show is a great example of it. A bunch of stuff I do is literally, I just was walking down the road and I kept being open to the ideas and the possibilities. And with each one, they continue to be successful in their own rights. And it's not necessarily the career I thought I'd have when I was 19. It's better though, because I also didn't know I'd be married for a long time and have kids and have a life like I have. For some reason, I thought, I'll just always be on the road, which is also great. I have friends who are lifelong touring.
How long did you tour for? Like, how long were you on the road until you like stopped?
I mean, we were on the road until we were probably like 18 when we started really going hard in the van. And then we stopped around 33.
I mean, that's a long time to be on the road.
And we were just on the road all year.
Yeah.
8-9 months a
24/7.
year. Yeah. Like hundreds of shows a year.
Yep.
But then I had met this person and had these kids, and I was like, the first couple years of their lives, we were still on the road, and I was like, I'm missing so much. And also the band had never took a break. We did, but it's really hard.
I can't even imagine like taking little ones like with the Pink tour. Like she had her kids with her, and like
at this age now it'd be easier.
How old are they?
They're 14 and 15.
Oh my God.
So yeah, tell me.
The little shits of an age.
Yeah.
I was such a little shit at 14 and 15.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're good.
Do they want to do music?
In their own ways.
Really?
Yeah, like my daughter.
Do they
dances.
like your music? Like, or they won't give it to you yet. Like they can't admit that they like it yet.
It's not that they don't like it. They don't listen to it.
I mean, that probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would listen to like my mom's music.
But they respect it.
Yeah.
Like they think it's cool that I did what I did.
Yeah. I mean, if you were my dad, I'd be like, yo, that's fucking
Well,
crazy.
I tell them all the time. I'm like, yeah, that was cool that you did that. And I'm like, well, I still do it.
You're like, it's still happening.
Still a thing. Like it's
still
not
playing shows. You're like,
not
yeah,
done.
you were so cool. Like,
yeah. What do you feel like the next 3 years of your career feels like? What are you excited about?
I'm so excited to make an album. I'm so excited. I've never made an album before. It'd be my first album debut. And I'm really, really, really excited about making it. For some reason right now, I'm fixating on having an album and pressing it on vinyl. And like, I'm like obsessing over like getting my album and just like listening to it on a vinyl player. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think I want all the songs to like go into each other.
Yeah. Roll into each other.
And
you can do that.
I already know the concept. And I'm excited about it because it sets it up to be very experimental in genres, which I'm really excited about. And
we have a vinyl plant. We can press the vinyl for you.
oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, we do really good packaging.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'd be so fucking
We do like limited 500 to 1,000 piece runs of vinyl.
That would be
for
so.
people.
I would fucking love that. Like I would die. That would be fucking
Sick.
awesome. Yeah.
I love vinyl.
Yeah. And I've had my EPs on vinyl before, but I really started like just like fixating on making that record. I want to like collaborate with some bands or whatever. Like, you know,
Which bands?
Like, I wonder who, if there's a band that I could collaborate with, that'd be
Good
like
Charlotte would do it with you.
Oh, would they? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
We would. We absolutely would.
Caught it.
Caught the fish. Us in Winnetka.
I would be fucking.
And now
I would
Matthew's
die.
in Good Charlotte, so
He's
in two
Well,
bands that you know now.
Now, I would fucking die. Yeah, just trying to collaborate more with bands or something. You know,
Band touring and the live thing and the rock band thing. It is a thing, and it is really it's really great. The live culture and touring and stuff is great.
That's really what I'm trying to get into, and like kind of finding my spot in alternative music and in pop music, because
You'll do it. I feel like you're already doing that. Maybe you're analyzing it as artists do, but from my perspective, that's
Thank
where
you.
that it feels like it feels like you're already there. You're just growing.
It means a lot coming from you, so thank you.
Yeah.
No, so for me, like, I write for other artists as well, so like just
You have
kind
a
of
song
like,
with Kelly Clarkson?
I do.
It's awesome.
Yes. I actually wrote that before I wrote ABC. I wrote ABC when I was 16. I wrote Me when I was 15.
Wow.
With like my friend on like a Sunday. And like
That's crazy.
I wrote about my mom's divorce because my mom got a divorce, and I knew Kelly was like ending a marriage, and I was thinking about what everybody would write for her. And I was thinking like people would probably go angry or sad. So let's go with empowerment. And so I was like, what my favorite thing when watching my mom go through a divorce, and it was with my stepdad. So like, because it wasn't like my biological father, there wasn't like custody things. Like
Do you have a relationship with your biological father?
Not particularly.
Okay.
And it's more just the fact that he really struggles with like his mental health, and he really just like has to focus on him and can't really like.
I had a very complicated relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
And for a lot of the same reasons. So I really understand that.
Yeah, it's like, and I feel like with therapy, I've been able to have like so much more peace with it. Like I'm so like, I still am processing the emotions of truly understanding like what it means to not have that type of father figure in my life.
Yes.
I also like have never really like had like a true father figure in my life that hasn't disappointed me or disappeared in some sense. So like, I don't necessarily like know what I'm missing. Like it's not like I had a great dad and then they got divorced and then like I never saw him again. You know, like I never had this like great thing to miss. So I think that is something where I wasn't always able to acknowledge the emotions that I had, because I'm like, well, I'm not missing anything. I don't know what I'm missing, so I'm fine. It's like, well, there's still other emotions you're gonna have. Just because you don't have something to compare it to, it doesn't mean that there's not like a longing. And I think there is something driving me because I've been like left or abandoned, and not in that particular way, but I processed it like that, where it's like, I'm gonna work so hard to like prove you wrong, to like show you that I don't need you, and like I don't need anything from anybody. And like I think that's probably why I'm so driven in such an intense way sometimes, because I'm like, I'm gonna have all the freedoms and I'm gonna like do everything for myself that you never did for me.
I will say that if I could give you any piece of information that I think helped me, and I wish I would have learned it earlier, so I'm happy to share it with you at your age. If you can take that and contain that and put it in a box and put it on the shelf with all the stuff that you deal with, so it's not back in a closet, it's on the shelf and you know it's there, but you contain it, you can really look at it and deal with it over time, and have a relationship with the loss of, or the absence of, this relationship that you never got to experience that other people did, because we are all different and none of us chose our families and what we were born into. Like I said, like it is our responsibility to at some point like understand it and process it and heal where we need to. But when I separated that out of my emotional experience and put it on the shelf and looked at it all the time, but I felt separate enough from it that I felt kind of safe from it. Over time, I developed a relationship with it that I thought was really healthy, where just like you're saying, I think you're really mature. I started to look at my relationship with my dad with this other guy who was just like me, went through a life and was a kid and then grew up, went through a bunch of stuff. Doesn't excuse some things, but I think when I started having that kind of separation from it, and I could analyze it and I could look at it when I wanted to, and I didn't always have to be happy about it, but I also didn't always have to be sad about it. I started to acknowledge strengths it gave me. And then I also started to find that I had relationships with other people in my life that were similar to a father figure, but that relationship really did make me resilient, and it made me independent in a lot of ways. And I also think I was able to, and this is why I feel super grateful for it. I don't think I would be having the full experience that I'm having as a father if I didn't want it so bad.
Yeah.
And I think that relationship gave me a deep need to like have the dad experience. And I think I have this really great relationship with my kids. I don't think I'm a perfect dad, but I think I have this like really fulfilling relationship because of that relationship. So I'm super grateful that all the things I didn't get, there's a lot of healing that happens later on.
Yeah, because it's like you almost get to like, in some senses, like heal your inner child by like giving your kids the things that you never got to like get.
Big time. And the fact that you even know that relationship with like your inner child at 19 is a huge, huge emotional advantage. Because I think emotional intelligence is a big part of success in life, and being able to like be in a room and know how to be in the room. That is emotional intelligence. And I think that's the number one thing we can learn from it. The sooner you can learn more emotional intelligence, the sooner you'll have more success. And I think that like you're way ahead of the game on that. That's probably why you could be articulate in your songs.
I'm gonna be so therapized in 5 years. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I feel like in 5 years of my career,
You could be
like
a
I'm gonna be a
therapist.
fucking stone wall.
You'll
like,
have a therapy
Nobody can
practice.
fuck with me. I'll be almost like, I'll be like 24, 25. Gosh, I want to headline in Europe. I've never done that before. Headline in Europe, in the UK.
I'd bet really good money that you'll do that.
Because with my album, I want to start in Europe and the UK, and then maybe go to North America. And I've never been to like South America, never been to Asia, I've never been to Australia. So I really want to like play shows there, and I want to write for other artists and like collab for. I want to make
Well,
a
you're already doing that.
soundtrack also at some point.
You're already writing for other artists. That's only just going to keep growing.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to Europe and South America and Australia and Asia. That's only a matter of time.
Well, thank you. My goal is to be like a waiter in some fucking movie or like a TV show or something.
You should do
like,
it.
Just like I just pop up for like 5 seconds. I think that should be so funny.
But you can do that.
I think
And
I
you
want
can
to do
have fun.
something like that. I feel like that would be silly. Like my pipe dream is like in 5 years to do with like one. I really want to work with Labyrinth one day. I think that like
Labyrinth, the producer? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like, oh my God, I think he's one of the most like talented producers ever. And like, I would die if I ever got to do what he did, which like make a soundtrack for a TV show like that. That's a very rare thing to happen. Like people don't really get to do that.
Honestly though, like I think you put it out there, it's completely obtainable. It's just a matter of people knowing you want to do it. And then they go, oh, I'll have her in mind for that.
I did a song for the Barbie album, and
I
that was
heard
really
that.
fun.
It was
That was
great.
really fun. That was really fun to do. It was fucking terrifying sending songs to Mark Ronson.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Like
He's a really nice guy.
He's so nice. I was so scared though. I called him Daddy Mark Ronson behind his back to make him seem less intimidating. It's like, okay, guys, we got to
He's a little
please
bit of
Daddy
a
Mark
zaddy.
Ronson. He is a daddy.
Yeah.
Like any man who can produce like that is daddy. Like
Yeah, he's
100%,
really talented
100%.
and really nice.
He's so funny.
classy guy.
Fucking terrified me. I was rehearsing for Taylor and trying to make a song for the Barbie movie, and I would like cry all the time because I would cry on my way to the studio because I'd be like, I don't know what he wants from me. Like, what does he want? And
Was he sending you notes and stuff?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Because here's what I was told. It was so basically it was like, hey, you get a shot to try and write a song for the Barbie movie.
Right.
And I
It's
was
not
like,
a given.
no, you just get an audition.
You get
And
an
because
audition.
I was just like begging, I was like, it was a shot to get a shot, you
Right.
know? And so then they're like, we'll connect you with Mark and he'll kind of tell you what he wants. And so he
Did
asked
you
me
guys
to
talk on
do-
the phone?
Yeah, he called me.
Okay.
And I was freaking the fuck out. Like I was like,
He's got
oh
a
my
great English
God.
accent.
Yeah, he was like talking, and I was like, oh my fucking God. And so then he was like, I love the sound of your records. And I was like, that's insane. For like Mark to be like, I love the sound of your records. I was like, wow. And he was like, I want you to make a bedroom pop punk version of Butterfly by Crazy Town.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, yo, I have no fucking clue how to do that. But like,
But it sounds like you nailed it because I
Sure.
listened to it and was like, yeah. It sounds like a pop punk bedroom pop punk.
Well,
That nails it actually.
what I did was like, I did that. And then he was kind of like, I didn't sing in any of it though. Like the first version I sent, I sang in none of it. And he was kind of like, you're a singer. Can you please sing? And I was like,
Yeah.
that's fair. But then he asked me to kind of make it more like the original. So I kind of did this like TLC, like no scrubs type thing. And then he sent it to, was like, actually, I kind of miss what you did before. So then I sent him a combo of the two. And then I didn't hear anything for weeks. And then I kind of heard, he texted me and he was like, hey, we just put it to the scene and Greta and I like really liked it. And I heard nothing. So weeks later I was like, okay, like, I don't know. Cause I was like, here's the rough demo. Let me know if you like it. I'll change everything and update it for the movie. And he was like, sick. Never hear a thing. I get a call. They're like, it's in the movie. And I was like, okay, sick. Let me like go in and like record the things. They're like, no. Locked in to screen. Like it's in the movie. That is the version. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And they're like, no, we put your demo in the movie. But actually the song, literally, I think it's in there for like less than 10 seconds. So
it's important 10 seconds though.
It was a beautiful 10 seconds.
It's a beautiful, that's how movies work.
Movie premiere and I was like, shout out to those 10 seconds. And then I retracked everything for the album, like for the soundtrack, I retracked it, but for the movie, they just like put in the rough demo. And my friend and I did it. The Reed Barron, I produced a lot of my stuff out with him, and it was just the two of us who like wrote and produced it together. That's
confirmation though. Those are the moments that confirm that like you're doing good work and that your brand of music is, and you have a place in the world amongst these big pop cultural, these big cultural moments. You could argue Barbie was one of the bigger cultural moments of the year, and you were a part of making that diverse cultural moment happen. Was all these parts. It's Mark looking across the music. It's you contributing your songs, and all the other artists that were probably doing the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're taking that and they're trying to fit it in so that the movie has its moments, right? Congrats.
Thank you. That was a very mind-blowing time. I wanted that
exciting.
More than I wanted something in like a really long
it's
time.
Iconic.
I wanted that really, really badly.
It's iconic.
It was so wild. I was with my brother, and he's obsessed with books. So we were at a book. He brought me to a fucking library at a bookstore, and I bought the Barbie album at like Barnes and Noble, and I was like, "Yo,
pretty cool.
That's crazy. Like that's crazy." And my name was on it, and I was just like, "Whoa."
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes, I would love to hear a funny
Mark's
story.
sister Samantha.
Yes.
Introduced me and Nicole.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting? Samantha it used to be in the band with my friend Pete Nappy, who produced out ABC. So
small world.
It's such a small world. That's so, how long, like
I've been friends with Mark for many years, but Samantha introduced me and Nicole. She was the matchmaker.
Wow.
So we always forever and ever feel like I was very close to Samantha as well. Like I and they're like childhood friends.
Yeah.
We met through her, but that's the Ronson connection.
Wow. That's amazing. No, he like, that my friend
and he's just one of the greats. He's iconic.
We made this song in his basement, and like we were just stressing the fuck out. But his basement sound, I would literally like, I would die for that basement sound. And SM7 in that basement was like, the crowds, like the tone of the sound of the room really added to a lot of the like bedroom style part of the song. But I had no clue what I was doing, but it was a lot of fun.
But sometimes our art, the stuff that we think took no effort and we didn't really know, sometimes it's our best stuff. And then sometimes our best stuff is like overcomplicated and we spend
so much time on it.
Go back to it. But like you never know which way you're going to get there when you make this thing.
Yeah.
And then you put it in the world and you never know how people are going to relate to it and where it lives and why. That's the out of our control part of art. Focus on when you're making it, just does it feel good? Do you like it? How does it make you feel? And then when you feel like it's done, you put it out or you send it to the movie or you give it to the artist, Kelly Clarkson, to record, and then you never know what's going to happen, where the life of that song is going to go. Because songs are like these living, breathing things. You go on the road and they change form when you play them live, and they evolve over time to become these other things. We have a song, people would likely say it's our biggest song, this song, The Anthem. At the time, it wasn't our biggest song. It was a song that we actually did for a movie that got rejected.
Oh, wow.
And we finished it and we put it on the album, and it was probably my least favorite song. And now it's one of my favorite songs. because it's taken on a different life.
Yeah.
So it's cool how that works.
That's really cool. With the Kelly Clarkson song, that I feel like is the most songwriter story. That song was on hold for about like 3 years, which like I feel like that I used to not understand when somebody was like, they say I have the single, but I don't believe it until the song's out.
Right.
But I have literally like changed songs the week they're supposed to come out. Like, especially being my own artist, I understand it. But like, yeah, like that song was on hold for about, one thing I also love is she rewrote the second verse and the chorus. There's no second verse. My friend Josh Ronan and I just wrote verse pre-chorus and just submitted it. And we had like this little post thing, and then she wrote the second verse, and like she didn't bring anybody else in on to write it. Like she wrote the second verse, rewrote parts of the chorus. Like there's one line in the chorus where it's like, I'm put together, I'm not broken. I let go of the pain that I'm holding is kind of what it said. And she like rewrote it to be like, I put together my broken. Like she did some like cool like flips that I thought was like really, really sick. And then she also started covering ABC. And
That's
like,
dope.
Once Kelly Clarkson sings your song, like it's not your song anymore. Like,
Yeah.
nobody else can sing it other than her. And yeah, she switched some of the lyrics, and that's just the most iconic shit I've ever heard in my life.
You're just an icon surrounded by icons.
I
Think
feel
about
like
that.
the one thing
Just
that
dealing with
I
all
think
these different
about,
icons.
I think about the Kevin Bacon game. I think that's his name, when you're like the actor who knows all the actors.
The 1%.
Yes.
The
like,
one,
or
one
like
degree.
the 1 degree game.
Yeah, the 1
and
degree.
Like,
Yeah, that's it.
sometimes I think about like,
Yeah, you're 1
that's-
degree for sure from anyone that you've ever dreamed of being in the company of. You are absolutely at 19 years old already 1 degree of separation away from any iconic musician that's ever guaranteed. I guarantee it. If you sat down and tried to chart it out, you are 1 degree.
Who allowed that? How did that happen?
I think
don't
you
know.
will. I think you will it. You've at 19 had an amazing career to this point, and you're on track to go and do whatever you want. And the key is going to be you, just showing up and being you. And if you don't let anyone talk you out of being yourself, and you trust your gut and you make things you're proud of, you're going to be on track. And that's the coolest thing, is when you meet someone that's comfortable in their own skin and that loves what they do, and inspired when I meet other people like that. Cause that's how that's who at my best I've wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And at my worst I've struggled to be. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I think you're doing great. Congrats on the tour,
Thank you.
and good luck with the album.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Maybe we can like write together or something for it, or something
And
like that.
maybe we could get together with Matt and do
that'd
that.
be so fucking
We can
down.
write a song.
That'd be so fun.
Hang,
I'd be
write a
so
song.
excited. That'd be so sick.
Thanks for coming here.
Thank you
It was great
for
talking to you.
having me here. This is so fun.
We can
This
come
is so
back.
crazy.
We're
Oh
gonna
my
come
God.
back and
love
and
it.
we'll do it again.
Oh my God, I'd love that.
And I'll come
It'd
do
be
a
so
show.
fun. Please do. It'd be so fun.
And we'll get
For
with
you.
Matt and we'll write.
Yeah, we'll
Great.
write.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Artist Friendly. If you really liked it, you can follow, like, subscribe to the show anywhere you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
Bad times, I don't